Upon first glance, the street course for this event comes across as your average run-of-the-mill street league-esque setup, with the main trick section, the Funbox Fantasy Dreamland, and you guessed it, the mandatory transition on either end of the park. Starting off from the back end of this course, we have the stance-friendly quarter pipe launch-out setup where you can either launch out to an 8-foot vert wall or straight to a mellower 6.5-foot roll-in. Either choice will lead you back into the ledge Lollapalooza, which has an almost identically mirrored setup for either half of the course, providing another very stance-friendly setup area. All of these ledges are about 2 feet high and have very mellow gradients, so I would expect tons of flip-in, flip-out slide tricks, with many people avoiding the stairs in favor of a more mellow attack at the center hubba after hitting the vert wall rollback. It would be absolutely insane if someone were able to grind into the dip of the hubba, but I haven't really seen high scoring and obstacles purely because people avoid them.
Get that shit out of here!
That brings us to the main trick section of the park, where all the bangers will take place. The overall drop is a good 4 feet high and features a 4-flat 4-set with a baby Eurobank in the middle. Either side consists of 2 gaps out hubbas and a gap to flat bar and a normal straight handrail. Given the dimensions, it seems each main obstacle gets intensely more difficult from left to right, providing a nice range of trick selection versatility. On either end of the main set are 2 long mellow down rails next to 2 quick Euro gaps to a ledge or rail respectively. I don't think these long mellow rails will get much love other than at the initial start of the run, and this area will mainly serve as a U-turn path for skaters to throw down the main section at the end of their runs. Not to be a biased fuck, but when it comes to any park event, I am always way more excited to see what backyard video game level nonsense they have put together to try and throw these concrete crunchers off their game. Whereas most street courses come across as very accommodating, remedial, safe, and almost like an unrendered Blender file with primary color palettes, it seems like the overall goal of these park event designers is to see what childhood EA skate file they can make in real life, and just how high they can make Pedro Barros go and still not call it a vert event. Coming across as just one mega version of Tony Hawk's Backyard Skate Park, this singular bowl consists of 4 corners, 3 hips, a cute little rail jump box setup so they can still call this a park event, and what appears to be a giant letter D that has risen up through the ground in the middle of the course at 11 feet tall for who knows why. In the D section, you have a funky love seat hip gap that will throw you into either a normal 8-foot extension or an 11.5-foot pull coping vert wall. If we're going to see any 540s or crazy vert maneuvers, I would expect it to be on this vert wall more than anywhere else. Alongside this vert wall, we have a near 9-foot hip attached to this obscenely large oververt pocket. As much as everyone will be airing over that hip into the coping corner heaven, I expect that unless this oververt is built correctly, it'll function more as a quick turnaround back to the jump box. If it wasn't for the little rail, this entire course would be just one giant bowl. Keep in mind that when it comes to the jump box, it's technically the smallest transition on the entire course, and it is literally the same height as the average US male. So cameras will do nothing but injustice for this course when it comes to size, so it's definitely larger than it seems. Conjoined with the jump box is a near 10-foot corner of pure pull coping that will be begging for countless barrage of disasters and slides. It is fair to say that pull coping covers a good 25% of skatable transition edges, which is very sick to see as not every skater is proficient in concrete slides or even familiar with the feel of fresh coping. Other than the obscene volcano and the park-friendly jump box, this course is really just one big rectangular bowl, but a very good one at that. I would expect many skaters to treat this as somewhat as a figure-8 path when it comes to lines, with the majority of tricks taking place on the center hip, coping corner, and jump box obstacles. In terms of flow, the park does seem to be a considerable improvement to past park events, especially considering it is being built from scratch rather than at a local skate park. Overall, the layouts of both courses are definitely on par with what you've typically seen throughout the past few years, with some very large minor exceptions. I think it'll be interesting to see what tricks get thrown down on the street course, and if we'll see a repeat of an all-Japanese podium for the men's division. This pro event will take place from February 25th to March 10th and represent the last qualification event in the Phase 1 for both Park and Street towards Paris 2024. Both events in the Park and Street will be made up of an open qualifiers for 30 skaters each for both men and women divisions. The top 5 of which consist of pre-seeded skaters who have a guaranteed spot in the finals due to their overall Olympic score rating. Basically, the higher you place throughout the several phases of the events, the more guaranteed your spot is in a smaller 16-man semifinals.
Get shit on! Get shit on! Your ass!
The remaining 25 are also based on Olympic rank scoring and face the task of placing through the open qualifying round where only 11 skaters can move forward. This gives each of those 25 skaters in the qualifier a 44% chance of moving forward to the semifinals as long as they only worry about the next guy and whatever the top 5 is doing. All things considered, this gives the leading pros a well-earned cushion and provides as an incentive to lower scoring skaters to direct their focus in ways that will lock them into a higher spot in the final results. Hopefully, being that this one takes place in Dubai, one can only hope whoever podiums to be taken off in a brand new 2023 Bugatti Veyron, but I guess only time will tell. The formulas for these events definitely feel like a back-to-back double feature of SLS and Dew Tour Park Series, so the corresponding events never feel too close or cohesive, and there's still a noticeable difference in energy, attitude, and approach. We'll see how this event carries on, and I'll do my best to see what other information I can join from World Skate's website and try and lay it out flat for you as the 2024 Olympics approaches.
Pounded into dust.